I value Media Composer so much because it is just an extension of my brain. My name is Robert Grigsby Wilson. I am the editor of Fancy Dance and the co-editor of Trigger Warning. I think as an editor, what I love about the process is first the initial discovery of what the film is. You are invariably going to be the first person to ever see the film in any shape or form. And so letting all the beautiful parts of what the film can be rise to the surface, through your hands is an incredibly exciting experience. Also seeing all the warts and seeing all the holes and seeing everything that you want to try to fix floats to the surface as well, but that's the fun part of the process. Seeing the first assembly can be incredibly emboldening or it can be incredibly petrifying. And what I love is take the process of getting to that point and then also taking it all the way through the process with all the different collaborators and making it the best version of itself. Well, I always knew I really liked it, but it was as I got along and deeper in my film experience, both in school and then after school, that I realized that a lot of people didn't like to do it. Every moment that I was in front of the Avid, I just absolutely reveled in the opportunity. And it was just so much fun to be able to piece the film together however you see fit. Anything you wanted to do to add humor or levity or drama or tone to the piece was right there in front of you, and you could basically manipulate the footage into any version of the film that you wanted it to be. And I just found that process to be so exciting. I just think editing is just the best part of the industry, the best part of this job. The best part of making a movie is the editing process. I like to work with new and interesting filmmakers. I like to be exposed to new material, new perspectives, new stories. Any genre approach or thematic approach is sort of not quite it's sort of neither here nor there. What I really respond to are the people and what are we trying to say and what's the spin that we're trying to put on the material that will make it feel new and fresh. I really am incredibly honored and humbled by the fact that all these different people, all these different women have asked me to be part of their filmmaking team. I really just want to keep working to help them tell their stories as much as possible, as authentically as possible, and I think that that's really what drives me creatively and keeps me energized, is to try to be as exciting as possible. And then also to try to take all these little tricks of the trade and apply them to these ideas. So, as dirty as I can get my hands is the ideal. I think an underrated feature of Media Composer is the stabilize tool and the 3D warp tool, because there are so many times when you're making a project that the camera gets a small bump or the Steadicam op, doesn't quite have a perfect landing, and you always need to kind of make something feel as tight as possible and as seamless as possible and as smooth as possible. And all of those tools are right there at their fingertips, and these are never quite things that you're able to see when you're watching the film. The idea is that you don't see the tools that we've applied. Obviously, there's a lot of really fun, exciting tools built into Media Composer where you can replace faces and cut out lines, and if you know how to break the box open, you can really get your hands dirty. But for me, I think that where I'm always going is the stabilize tool and the 3D warp tool, just so I can just adjust it a little bit, or I can just make that Steadicam move feel a little bit smoother, and I can make everything just feel as seamless and as intended as possible. Media Composer is the industry standard in this town. I value Media Composer so much because it is just an extension of my brain. The ideas flow out and I can very quickly whip something together, be it an idea for a new approach to a scene, or hey, if I just like drop a fluid morph and a couple speed ramps on this thing, I can tighten up this line, or we can skip this. The little tricks of the trade that come from editing, you can really, they're all sitting right there at your fingertips. And so like that being as efficient as possible is really the most important thing. I think the best advice I would use would be to learn Media Composer and then get out there and meet as many people as possible. I got advice from Kevin Tent once upon a time, who said, you just have to cut everything. And the advice I generally give to everybody is just to learn the tool, but then put it into practice as much as possible. A lot of people are afraid that, especially when they're starting out, that they're not doing the right thing, that they're not on the right path, and the best thing you can get is experience.